Hello, I'm Perrin Beatty. Sloane Muldoon is the Senior Vice President, Retail Performance at Scotiabank. She was appointed to this role in November of 2020 to build on and further drive cultural change within the bank to maximize productivity in key areas of their retail business. Sloane is also an advisory board member and the chair of the Scotiabank Women Initiative. Sloane joined Scotiabank in 1991 and has held progressively more senior roles, including most recently Senior Vice President, Prairie Region, Canadian Branch Banking. Sloane, welcome. We're delighted to have you with us today.
Thanks, Perrin. It's my pleasure to be here.
Now, our conference today has been focused on the post-pandemic economic recovery and particularly on the role of women-led business. I know that Scotiabank has had a unique perspective throughout the pandemic, but particularly through the Scotiabank Women Initiative. Perhaps to start, could you give us a short overview of SWI and what you've seen throughout the pandemic in terms of barriers or opportunities for women?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So, the Scotiabank Women Initiative is a signature program, and it was designed to break down the barriers and improve the economic opportunity for clients who identify as women, for both today and in the future. And this is about helping thousands of women be their best professional and have the best financial future they can, ensuring that we're giving them unbiased access to capital, bespoke education, holistic advisory services, and mentorship. This is about empowering women, breaking down barriers, and addressing the unconscious biases that female entrepreneurs face.
Sloane, why was it important from your perspective for the bank to have a program that was directed specifically at women entrepreneurs?
I'm glad you asked that question. I could answer that it's about diversity and inclusion, and that is one element, but it's more than that. The economic contribution of female entrepreneurs in this country is significant, and we want to be part of the solution to support the female entrepreneurs. So that's why we think that this bespoke, unique offering differentiates ourselves.
When you take a look at the pandemic, one of the concerns I think that many of us have had is that the impact of the pandemic has been uneven, and that women have been particularly hard hit. How does it appear from your perspective at the bank?
Yeah, I would agree with you. There's been a disproportionate economic impact on women entrepreneurs, and of course, women in labor participation in general. It's the lowest it's ever been in 30 years. And female entrepreneurs faced challenges before the pandemic, and this has just layered it on. And when I think about the sectors that are led by women and owned by women, it's often the sectors of which social distancing is difficult, whether that's hospitality, travel, tourism, personal services. So not only were they facing challenges pre-pandemic, this has really amplified the challenges that they're facing in those sectors in particular.
So it's extraordinary to see that in a short period of time of the space of the pandemic, so much of the progress that was made in terms of women becoming entrepreneurs and opening their own businesses has been set back.
Yes, yeah. And but with every crisis, they say comes opportunities, right? And what we saw through the Scotiabank Women Initiative is that we were going to have to drive more value and innovation quicker and more rapidly to help with the digital transformation, and then being able to pivot to virtual settings such as these to ensure we were still having our programming available coast to coast. So we quickly, thought about our digital approach, and we put together more digital tools, knowledge centers, digital hubs, podcasts, and held virtual mentorship sessions to ensure that our female entrepreneurs were being supported even more than they were pre-pandemic.
And how have you found the response within the community of women entrepreneurs? Have they been able to pivot with the sort of speed that you were looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. It was up to us to ensure that they had access to knowledge online, we had access to digital financial services, and most importantly, to make sure that we were still helping them create the community and the network, and that they had access to mentorship sessions where they could solve real business problems together.
Let's look at the recovery now from the pandemic. We obviously are seeing the early signs that things are coming back to whatever the new normal is going to be. What do you see as the role of women entrepreneurs in terms of the post-pandemic recovery?
Yeah. You know what? It's going to be significant. As we come out of the pandemic, female entrepreneurs are going to have a lot of opportunity, and there's going to be a significant amount of innovation that we're going to see coming from the female entrepreneurs in this country and around the globe. And when I think about when we launched this program in December 18, as I mentioned, it's about access to capital, specialized education, and mentorship. And I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an update on our progress, if that's okay.
That'd be great.
So in December 18, we committed to deploying $3 billion worth of capital in the first 3 years of the program. And I'm pleased and proud to say today we've deployed over 2/3 of that. We've supported over 5,000 women at our various boot camps and mentorship sessions, coast to coast. And we found opportunity to collaborate with partners. So we have 17 partnerships coast to coast with firms like MNP, Forum, Disruption Ventures. And I think that that's been significant progress that we've been able to maintain during the pandemic. And I'm really proud of that. And what I really am proud about the program is that our advisors, coast to coast, are engaged in the program. This is a program that is not run by Toronto. This is a program where grassroots engagement are supporting female entrepreneurs.
That's exciting. Let's talk about the role of female entrepreneurs in Canada. We talked before about the issue of equity and ensuring that everybody had the opportunity to fully participate. But it goes beyond that, doesn't it? The participation of female entrepreneurs has changed both the face and the nature of Canadian business in many ways. Can you give us your perspective on that? What's the contribution that's being made to Canadian business by women entrepreneurs?
Yeah. And I know you know this, and I know that our viewers know us, but the rate of female entrepreneurship in this country is outpacing men. And so that's a real opportunity of which we need to ensure that we as an organization are providing everything we can to those female entrepreneurs, whether it's through digital advancement, whether it's through the access to capital, and whether it's through mentorship and networking, where they're able to meet with like-minded women and peer-to-peer coach and solve those real business problems. But access to capital is a real issue in this country. Female entrepreneurs are rejected at 2 times the rate of men.
2 times the rate.
2 times the rate. Women only have access today of 4% of the venture capital in this country. And the decline rate for a female entrepreneur is 14% higher than a male. And that is really unfortunate. And that is something in this country we need to solve for. Female entrepreneurs are reluctant to ask for capital. They'd rather borrow from friends and family. And we need to ensure that we've got approval of appropriate financing without any biases on gender.
To what do you ascribe this differential? To what extent is it cultural, that there's simply cultural barriers that have been put in the way, or prejudices that people may have? Or to what extent is it a matter of the fact that with the rate of expansion of the number of female entrepreneurs, you're getting new people coming into business who don't have a track record and don't have an established credit record and so on? What's the balance there?
Well, I think it's a couple of things. Through our research and in discussion with women, they are less confident about approaching a financial institution for capital. Like I mentioned, they'd rather borrow from friends and family than approach a financial institution. So what we need to do is make sure that there are no barriers and that we're supporting them with their financial acumen and how to prepare a business plan, how to do cash flow modeling. And then when we're looking at the opportunity, we have to make sure within Scotia that there's no gender bias when we're adjudicating for credit.
So it requires everybody along the chain. It requires the bankers themselves. It requires the individuals. And I think it probably means reaching back even to our educational system to remove preconceptions that people may have about the role of women or their success in business, and to help to prepare people to be able to enter the marketplace.
I would agree with you. I think there's a whole ecosystem that has to work together to support female entrepreneurs.
What do you see looking forward? What are the biggest opportunities for the Scotiabank Women Initiative Program?
Yeah, you know what? I think there's many. And to cite a couple, we've expanded into our global banking and markets arm. And what we do is help women become board ready. We've realized there's an opportunity in global wealth management to support women, whether it be through financial planning, whether it be through succession planning, whether it's will and estate planning. And later this year, we're going to expand into our global footprint into Latin America and the Caribbean with the Scotiabank Women Initiative. So we're going to take advantage of the fact we have no borders at Scotiabank. And I think that's really exciting. I also think there's an opportunity for us to specialize. We want to help all sectors, but I think we do want to be specialized in areas such as agriculture, venture capital, technology, healthcare, to name a few, as well as really supporting those hard hit sectors that are coming through the pandemic.
Your excitement about the initiative is evident. And so I think I know the answer to my final question, but I want to put it to you anyway. Obviously, we've seen setbacks for women as a result of the pandemic, and there are major hurdles still in the way that you've set out for us. But are you basically optimistic about the future and about the opportunities for Canadian women and for others to get engaged in the business community, to become entrepreneurs and to build businesses?
Yeah, I'm extremely optimistic. As we come through this pandemic and we've built our resiliency muscle, there's going to be even more opportunity for female entrepreneurs. And we at Scotiabank are confident that if we continue to provide the support by listening to women and understanding exactly what they need to support their businesses, we're going to drive real meaningful, impactful change in this country. And I'm super excited about that, Perrin.
Sloane, thank you for being with us today, and thank you for your hard work on behalf of Canadian women.
Thank you, Perrin. Pleasure to be here.